Welcome to MGD TV and specifically PowerPoint Show. My name is Jacob Junior Munghesi, and I want to send my greetings to colleagues who have kept following us and those who have always taken the time to watch all the episodes and always commenting and sharing the information. This is what exactly you're supposed to do as a good citizen of this country or this nation, by sharing information that you feel is really good for the people outside there, because we as MGD, we are here to bring such information at your disposal, at your place of comfort, in your rooms and on your screens. And also it is up to you as a good citizen of this nation to share such information to the others whom you feel really need it, because I know whatever we speak here may not be that much useful to you, but of course we are also sure that out of whatever we give here, that it's that information that to you as a person, or to those that neighbor you wherever you are, it is useful information. Otherwise, you welcome Mr. Buwembo. Today is a Wednesday, and you know, whenever it is a Wednesday, just know who is in the studios. It is Mr. Buwembo again, and you're most welcome.
Thank you so much. It is always a great opportunity sitting in your on your hot seat, sharing some current affairs with the audience, and I'm always happy sharing with your audience. And like you've said, people are always missing me. The last time when I spent some weeks without appearing, I also received some messages, some calls. They were worried that maybe you fired me.
That's fired.
You sanctioned me.
Somebody, actually, even me myself, I told you that I was almost going to either Chitalia or Zira and check and see whether my man has been taken.
When they don't see me, they think that I'm in Chitalia.
Of course. And they said
no, now, since Anita Among is in a lot of battles and problems, I think she's no longer instructing for my arrest. That's why I've been outside for a long time now.
Wow, what a joke! What a joke! What a joke!
Not a joke. It is serious. It is very serious. Whenever she's like in her free mood, she's always witch hunting me, and she's the person who has kept me behind the bars for longer time. The first time she kept me in Ruzira for 104 days. Those are 3.5 months. It is a long time, a period of time. The second time she kept me in prison for 57 days. That is a long time for someone to be in prison, just caged there. So since she got in problems, I'm also a free man. I'm enjoying.
But I predict good friendship between the two anytime soon. Otherwise, a lot of things have been happening in the week, and among them is the yesterday's hot meeting between the President of the Republic of Uganda and the traders at Kololo. And then also we've had rumors that the UAE has also sanctioned the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. In the same week, of course, we saw last week the NUP had to initiate. Is it initiating?
Launching
their nationwide membership registration, and we saw this week some members fighting at the NUP offices in Busia, and the question is the causes of these fights linked to the nationwide registration or something different from that. Is it about leadership, or what exactly caused that? That and much more is what we are going to be discussing in today's PowerPoint show. And to begin immediately, Mr. Buwembo, I want to begin with yesterday's meeting in Kololo. It is something that was unexpected, and we saw many traders going there, though they were expecting the president to by 6 people already in place, and that shows you how much this meeting was very vital. Drawing to that meeting, what were your expectations, you as a person, before we go into what really transpired there?
You see, a meeting between the president and the traders, for me as a person, I never expected any positive from there, because I will know that there is nothing that URA can bring like a proposal to collect taxes when it has no Museveni's input. So URA is one institution under the leadership of Museveni. And by the way things are meant to be done, the government proposes, then after proposes, it sends its proposals to Parliament, and then the proposals be passed into laws. So the taxes were passed into law by the government, which is headed by Museveni.
You mean that there is no possibility of URA bringing any policy without the knowledge of the president? Without
the knowledge of the president. After all institutions in Uganda are headed by either relatives or puppets Museveni.
But of recent, the president had a meeting with the border guys. I'm just giving an example, and when they were telling him of their grievances, he was like, I wasn't aware of this fee that was being charged.
He will always say the same. I wasn't aware. Even when he was meeting traders, he used the same statement. Is it true that Efris
requires
internet? I'm not aware. So he's always like that. You remember when he was addressing his audience on Labor Day, he was like, I wasn't aware that youth are being exported for labor. He wasn't aware. So what is it that he's aware of? When you hear wrangles in our region, religious groups, he's always like, I wasn't aware, but now since I'm aware, I'm going to do something. But in the end, what is it that is being done?
Maybe the blame should be put on his ministers.
No, his laziness. He's being caught up by the age.
He has a lot of things to do.
At one time, Museveni uttered out a statement that shocked me. You remember the saga of Basaja Balaba, where he was given 169 billion shillings in compensation for losing contacts of markets Nakasero, Sauriako, and Owino. So when the matter got into Parliament, the Attorney General and the Minister of Finance were summoned. And they were like, we worked upon instructions from the president. When the president was reached out to, he was like, me? I don't remember, I'm not aware. So they insisted that we have communications from you, because Parliament had proposed to sack those ministers. And Museveni was like, assume that I was snobbering by the time I issued out instructions. You know what snobbering is? It is you being in between a sleep and awake.
Yes.
So assume that I was snobbering. Don't you think that it would be the work of those two to advise me that what we are doing is wrong?
Is wrong.
And in the end, they were victimized. They lost their positions, and he remained. So every time anything goes wrong, he always say, I wasn't aware. So about yesterday's meeting with the traders, traders thought that maybe since we had demonstrations, which demonstrations had a lot of negative effects on the economy of the country, and the revenue collection department, maybe the president had to think twice about their tax proposals. But to Museveni, who is desperate always to get money to do his political work, because after all, the money that is being collected through taxes is not serving Ugandans, which is in contradiction, because the purpose for which we are paying taxes are these taxes to enrich us, services that we cannot enrich ourselves. Services like road construction, services like extending power to our workplaces and our residences, services like enabling us or reaching us with good water. All these services are not there. Where is the health system? We have a sick health system in the country, which would be revamped by the taxes that we pay. And it is not used for the same. Instead, the taxes we pay are being used for political mobilization, buying support from the opponents, and hiring support where it is necessary. We have always been seeing wherever it goes, people being transported from one place to another for political support.
And the someone that's used to pay some of you, those in opposition.
Yes, I have said part of the money is used to hire, to rent, and to buy support. He reaches out to some opposition members, like he reached out to Anita Among, and at one time Anita Among was in our opposition. We were together in FDC. She was my leader, as the deputy treasurer of FDC. So she was bought off using the taxpayers' money.
So ever crosses must have been bought, right?
Now, tell me, when we were with Anita, we were advocating against corruption. We were advocating against human rights violation. We are advocating against vote rigging. What has changed?
She must have been maybe put in that position to now fight it, try to... Yes, because...
What is it that she's fighting? Corruption?
The president said...
She's fighting down corruption?
The president said he's now getting fishers. You never know. She's one of those he has gotten to fight.
The money has been misused. And that is now the battle that is ahead of us, to fight hard to ensure that we put the taxi, the money collected in terms of tax to a better use. So when they met with the president, they expected a positive, but of course it was more visitation, usual visitation.
Of course, some people maybe we're called to just have meals or have some jazz with the president.
Yes, but I'm so happy with the traders' reactions. When they had nothing positive from him, they expressed their anger from there without waiting for any minute. As he was still addressing them, when they realized that he's off topic, they stormed out of the tents that were organized for them, and they marched out, only to be stopped by SFC with Chiboko. Go back and listen to the man. To those who returned back, they found him quarreling with them. I have listened to you. I've recorded the positives and negatives from you. Now why aren't you listening to me? As if you are forgetting that I'm aged. I'm 80 years now. I'm about to die.
So, but he didn't say about to die. He said about to go to heaven.
Can you go to heaven when you are alive? So he meant that he's about to die. But for them, their point was like, you do not have to die with our business. That was the point. Whether you are to die tomorrow or today, we pray that you died yesterday, because you are the longer you stay, the more problems we're experiencing.
But he gave his explanations and said this thing is not about maybe discouraging the local investors or the traders from going on with their businesses.
Yes.
He said this was just a mechanism, a system that he wanted to just use to limit on the importation of things. And
yes, but what is it that is imported from outside that is being produced here? How many products are on the market that are produced?
He talked of clothes and he said we have.
You see, this is where we go wrong. Do you remember at a time when they introduced this pioneer bus transportation system in the country?
Yes.
That was at a time when one of their bade had procured some 70 buses And to them, they thought that they can replace all the taxis that were operating then with the 70 buses. And they arised to reform the transport system of the country by replacing taxis with buses. But they
had enough belief in that maybe Kira Motors would make some good number of vehicles.
Then what happened? What happened? For any plan to be implemented, has to be well thought of. You know, you cannot just wake up one morning and you say we are going to change the system in just a short period of time. So if his interest is to encourage Ugandans, Ugandan traders dealing with Ugandan products, it must be a gradual process, and it comes with some incentives. What is the cost of your products vis-a-vis the cost of the products from vis-a-vis the products, the foreign products?
Yeah.
You know, then what the durability, how the quality of the products of Uganda vis-a-vis the quality of the foreign products.
So you mean the products produced here are of poor quality?
That's what that's not what I'm saying. But some of the considerations are those: the durability of the products, the prices, the cost of the products, then also the availability of those products on the market. It matters, because you cannot just wake up one morning and you say now we have Kiramoto, which whose sustainability we are not aware of, and you say now we can close out all imports of other vehicles and we rely on Kiramoto, whose sustainability we are not sure of.
Talking of the prices and then the quality of the products, because there is you saying that you know, the price of the commodities imported vis-a-vis the price of the ones produced here. But of course, I told you one of the reasons now the taxes are so high on the imports is because they want to limit on the imports and maybe and have these local products, you know, having the local products you know, taking over the market, because those imported from outside, when they come, for example, the Chinese clothes, they bring them here and then they're sold at a low price.
Yes.
So the best way to have it managed is by having high taxes. Yes.
So that their prices goes high.
Of course, now such that now you, the Ugandan.
But tell me, what are those factories? For example, textile factories that we are having in the country that do outcompete the products that are being imported from China. That's where my concern is.
But see,
it is not a matter of you having Nightil that can do bed sheets and then you develop some shirts from some bed sheets. And you see the shirts he puts on. We can't all put on the bed sheets as shirts. You know, you bring different qualities of shirts, different products, T-shirts. Now, which factory is producing T-shirts here? You see, you have different products in the country which can attract traders to come and procure them to their consumers. In other words, if you don't produce variety and you want just to restrain people by imposing high taxes, that is very wrong. That's why you saw the protest. And the protest does not stop at only traders. We are also now starting mobilizing the final consumers, the peasants, the locals, also to join the demonstrations of the traders. As the traders will be closing their shops, we shall also be occupying some streets, drumming up some materials so that the demonstration can be felt by everybody.
So you feel that should be the solution now?
Oh, what do we do? That is the solution offered by the Constitution, that where you are disgruntled, please protest. That is the only solution that is being offered. by the constitution.
Are you not sending people to Chiboko again?
Yes, you see, when you are doing the right and someone does the wrong, it doesn't have to stop you from continuing doing the right. We shall continue doing what is our right provided by the constitution, as those officers in the army and police doing the wrong, which is not provided by the constitution. In the end, they will suffer their actions. Do you know what is happening with Biabashaija, the Commission of Prison? He's also suffering sanctions from USA.
Yes, yeah.
Do you know what is happening with the former IGP, General Kaihura? When did you last hear from him? He's not even
he's enjoying his
retirement. He's not even allowed to possess a tab made from US. You know? So that's how he's lost. If this camera that you are using here, it is procured from USA, Kaihura is not qualifying to be also, streamed by the same camera.
Now, okay, talking of...
So, they will suffer by their actions. You remember General Oreiro went to Kasese, murdered people, he killed, he used the bombs, he used every dangerous weapon. Today, he's suffering those sanctions. But his suffering is not only to stop at the sanctions put on him by USA, but we are also planning as locals to get him behind the bars, and that time isn't very far. It is soon. You'll be seeing General Oil, you'll be seeing the Anita Among also feeding on the posho from the prisons.
So should we say the solution should be at stop? The problem is importation. I don't think the problem is just importation of things, because what I know is that yes, you are free to import what is not being produced in the country, but again the president has tried much to bring in investors to the country, which again you people are saying is exploiting the...
You see, the problem is not all about importing goods. The problem is about our failure to fight down corruption, to fight about embezzlement, to fight about safety from the government officials. The taxes that traders are complaining against, their complaint is not like we don't want to pay taxes. But they are complaining about against double taxation, where you import goods, you pay taxes at the customary, that is the interest of the country. You pay importation tax, you pay VAT, you pay infrastructure tax, you pay so many taxes, and then again you be waited at your shop to pay the same taxes that you've already paid for the same products, but to the same institution, URA. That is VAT. VAT is already paid at customary, and you are following the same products to charge them the same tax. That is double taxation. And by the taxation laws, double taxation is illegal. That's what the traders are protesting against. And if you had them clearly yesterday, they were like, no, let the Efris system be given to only manufacturers. We pay VAT at that point of manufacturing or getting things from the manufacturers. When the products get to the shops, we shouldn't again pay for the same tax. You know, in other words, if we do not join the traders to discourage this system being introduced of Efris, we are also going to share the same rush from the same taxes. How? If a trader procures things from the manufacturer, those things have already cleared VAT. Then from the shops, their shops, wholesale shops, they find Efris. Efris also deducts VAT. Then the same wholesaler is to sell the same products to another wholesale shop somewhere in Mitiana or Mubende. That very shop is also expected to pay the same tax on the same product. That's what we are discouraging. And that, to an ordinary man, that is theft. Even to a rich, if you read about taxation laws, that is theft.
Now, initially, the problem with the traders, their complaint was about the Efris machine. But the president, of course, removed it. He said it is okay. You can still use your phones as the URA not.
You see, Museveni, I don't know whether he's in a wrong generation. He's the same Museveni who discourages the use of social media, which is on our phones. According to him, at his age, he thinks that Facebook is at a closure since when? Since 2017, 2018. His government closed down Facebook. But the same government came out to impose taxes on internet. You remember when we were demonstrating against OTT, which they removed, and now they imposed taxes, direct taxation on internet. Every GB, every MB you procure, you pay tax for it. Now is the same man who's like, if you cannot manage machines, Efris machines, now you can have an app on your what? On your phones. But still our phones will be using internet. If he's not aware. The last time he was addressing the country during lockdown, COVID-19 lockdown, he was like, he bragged, I do not use smartphones, I use my capability. So let him show us how you can have that app on the capability, assuming that there are more Ugandans still using capability. Let him show us how you can have that Efris application on the capability, and you do transactions with it. So this matter.
The same businesses that I've seen are working for these traders, and
that can also be possible. I remember sharing a story with you when we were still under the Jobless Brotherhood, whose duty was to advocate for employment of the youth and fighting down corruption in the government officials. We had a demonstration, and that demonstration was all about petitioning the Minister of Labor to create jobs for the youth. So when we reached there, the Minister of Labor then, Janet Mukwaya, she was wise enough. She stopped police from arresting us. She was like, no, they are my visas, allow them entry. When we reached, she was like, can you select leaders amongst you so that we can have a discussion together on how we can create employment for the youth. We selected leaders amongst ourselves. I was amongst the people who were selected. Assume that now we are the people in government. Let us forge together how to create jobs for the youth. Our presentation was like, we are in a country which was endowed by God with a lot of natural resources. One of the natural resources that we have in the printer is fresh waters. No.
It is still the PowerPoint show for you here on MGD and I'm Jacob Junior. Munghesi is still with Habib Buwembo. You know, every Wednesday we are always here with Buwembo and speaking a lot of things that have transpired through the week. between Thursday to Wednesday when we get back on your screen again. Before the break, we're talking about Efris and the traders meeting yesterday with the president. And I don't want us to go back to that. I want us now to go to the rumors that Speaker Anita Among was again sanctioned by another country, that's the UAE. And I want, as you know, it's now away from just a mere joke, because when we had it before that it was the UK that had sanctioned him, people were like, especially politicians who were backing the Right Honorable Speaker, were saying UK had no genuine basis on why they had to sanction the Speaker, and they gave their own basis that it could have been maybe the anti-homosexuality bill. But now, when a country like UAE also comes out to sanction the Speaker, somebody would say, will they use would they still say it is the anti-homosexuality bill? Because
UAE
it is truth we all know
not
that
embrace the homosexual.
Yeah, it is truth, at least universal acknowledged, that these Islamic countries are not part of such things. So what do you have to say about that?
You see, we always say that you can only reap what you sow. So the question remains, did Anita Among steal the Karamajong iron sheets? The answer is very clear. She stole the iron sheets. Now, her tendency of connecting the sanctions with the bills that she has passed is being seen by everyone that she's just looking for like a cover where she can hide. You know, let her stand to pay the cost of her actions, and let all other government officials stay warned that once you act in if you indulge yourself into criminality, at the end of the day, you have to pay a cost. At first, Anita was like, I'm not bothered by the sanctions. For sanctions, as long as I have my visa to Bukedia, I'm okay to move. And I live a better life. But her forgetting that in Bukedia, there is no any factory that produces the cosmetics that she uses to bleach herself. Why are you now getting scared?
Because I don't know anything about it.
You doubt her bleaching?
People change.
She's someone from Bukedia. All people who are from Bukedia are more dark than I am.
You mean
and she has been striving on a daily to turn herself into a Muzungu or an Arab. Now the Wazungus have said, we don't want you this side of our land. She has a duty now to look for a method of now retrieving.
So let's talk about the sanctions.
Yeah, I'm about the sanctions. Because part of the sanctions is like you are not even allowed to transact with any of our companies. So part of the companies are companies that produces the cosmetics that she has been using. Yeah, yes, she can enjoy her movements from Kampala to Bukedia. But when it comes to getting to a center, a shop which sells cosmetics, she will be cautioned. And you, Anita Among, yes. And you, the one with sanctions, yes. These products are from UK. You have no right to consume them. That's what the sanctions are saying. With UAE, United Arab Emirates, it did not stop her from traveling to Dubai or Qatar. But they said she has no right. She's no longer allowed to do any transaction with UAE. And they went ahead to caution, to instruct their financial institutions that the moment you see any transaction bearing a name of Anita Among, immediately freeze before you consult from anywhere. So now we have also to be careful when we are writing our statements, because among is, I think it is one word that is is found in the English grammar. If I say Buwembo Habib among others, that among, that word among, to an Arab country may be seen as a name among. You may end up losing business just because of misusing words. So the caution was, the moment you see the name Among, Anita, freeze. And today, I don't think that Anita Among is still qualifying even to sit in that office of the speaker. Because which country would want to have a speaker chairing the business of parliament who is not allowed to carry out any transaction with other countries? Are you getting my point? This is the speaker previously who was elected as the chair of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Forum.
Yeah, true.
That opportunity was not given to a person of Anita Among. The opportunity was given to a country, Uganda. As we are speaking today, that's what is spoiled. Which forum, which Commonwealth Parliamentary Forum is she to preside over when she is not allowed even to deal with anybody in a relationship with UK?
That's what I wanted to ask, because recent the speaker has been saying Uganda is a sovereign country and we cannot work on the influence of UK. But of recent, we just hosted the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference here in Uganda, and she happened to attend. So I want to know why the controversies. You're saying we can't work on the influence of UK, and being part of the Commonwealth.
Even the budget that we are about to pass was being sponsored by UK by about 32%.
Actually, she does it every
so,
financial.
as we are speaking now, she has no authority, she has no right to sign on any of the papers which are making that kind of transaction. So, does she still qualify to sit in that chair of the speakership? She may set a precedent where the speaker has not ended a term. Have you had her quarrel in a quarrel with her government? Wondering why the government is so silent about the sanctions being put on her. Have you had her?
They're still reviewing.
She is in a quarrel. The last week she was like, now it is like I'm being sacrificed. Why the government is so silent about the sanctions being put on me? I was expecting the government to have pronounced its positions on its position on these sanctions. Yes, but the government knows the consequences that comes with such sanctions, and the government can't also go bragging and sound like we are not bothered. After all, we are sovereign.
But even the president has not come out to speak.
He knows what it means. He knows if UK chose to put sanctions on the entire country, he knows what we can lose. He knows that the bigger part of the money that runs the business of security in this country is from the UK. Uganda being a colony, former colony, is it a colony or former?
Former colony.
To UK. But we
colonialism almost.
Yes, we benefit a lot from our former masters. The trainings that our police, our army undergo is scripted by the UK. So if they said that we are putting sanctions on Uganda and you are not allowed to deal with anything to do with UK, that means that even the people we've been sending to UK to acquire the military training, to come back and train our military here, will be sanctioned. Then that means that we have now to think of almost changing everything of ours, like we are a newborn country.
So,
which is so expensive.
So should we say our own systems have failed to handle such situations? They have failed to handle corruption?
Yes, of course. The blame, to begin with, goes to the individuals, the criminal individuals. If Anita wasn't a thief, we wouldn't be discussing all this. Then, the second blame goes to the government itself, the head, Museveni, for having failed institutions to be independent. If the office of IGP, IGG, the office of DPP was given room to act accordingly, today Anita would be in prison serving her sentence.
Maybe
and the UK wouldn't be coming into intervening into the matters of Uganda. But all international treaties have a provision that for us to open for you to indulge into your matters, local matters, is after the failure of local authorities acting accordingly.
Maybe they have failed because of having very many organizations. Because we have now the DPP, you talk of the IGG, you have the State House Anti-Corruption
I want to thank the institution of IGG. It made its report clearly, and it implicated Anita Among and others as people who stole Kalamajong iron sheets. Then the DPP also picked from that report and started investigations. And part of the investigations implicated Anita Among and the team as thieves, only to be intimidated and stopped by the president himself. You remember the letter he authored, where when he said, you know, it's too much and there are too many who stole, so let us look into their stealing. To those who stole in the interest of the public, we can say we can punish them politically. And to those who stole to benefit themselves, then let them be prosecuted.
Okay.
You know, when we are fighting about stealing, we don't need to go into the purpose of your stealing. Did you steal? Yes. Open the prison for the thief. We don't get into the purpose that I stole because I wanted to donate to my girlfriend. Because part of the purpose of Anita's stealing was to donate the boyfriend. But you remember when he donated a Range Rover to Magogo on a birthday. So if we start discussing the purposes of stealing, why did you steal? To donate to the public?
I think in a democratic country that has to be done. This is not a totalitarian, state that you just have to ask you, hey, are you a thief or something like that.
Yes.
But even not enough evidence has been
enough evidence has been availed
and also no
about
court,
this theft.
And also no court has named her guilty.
Let me remind you, to the extent that Anita Among was forced to retrieve the iron sheets where she stole it from. So do you remember her carrying the iron sheets back to the stores of the office of the Prime Minister?
After she returned them, maybe shortly in a few seconds, where does this leave the country in a few seconds?
It gives us more courage, us who've been on the front line of fighting down corruption and the safety. More courage that our talking is not just merely stopped at that stage of talking. It creates impact. If we stopped talking, UK wouldn't have acted. UAE wouldn't have acted. So they have always been like laughing at us. Hey, now you are turning the iron sheet stuff into a song. You remember when Anita Among blasted the Honorable Semuju in Parliament? That the way you are talking about the iron sheets is as if it is the first thing to be stolen in the country. Yes, let us keep singing. If the institutions here fail, we shall attract intervention of other institutions internationally. As a person, Buwembo Habib, tomorrow 9th, I'm reporting back to court, case at City Hall Court, facing a charge of spreading malicious information about the person of the speaker, Anita Among, that I said she's a thief of Kalamajong iron sheets. Tomorrow, that's when I'm reporting back. Now, is there still a need to investigate whether what Buwembo traded was malicious or it is true? When the truth now has gone beyond Uganda boundaries, it is an international truth being started by UK and UAE, you know? So let us do not give up. As long as we convince ourselves that what we are doing is right, let us stick on that right. So what all this benefits to the country is creating more courage, more energy to us who have been on the front line of fighting down these vices. At one time, we were going to see Museveni also being sanctioned, because the immunity he is enjoying today is only provided by our constitution.
Okay.
The international treaties do not provide such immunity to him. You remember when former president of Sudan, al-Bashir, Mama al-Bashir, was put sanctions. You remember? So let us continue portraying the debts these people have brought with our country. At one day, they will have to account for the same.
Okay, that has been Habib Buwembo, but of course also as PowerPoint and MGD TV, we also feel it's not good to, of course, engage yourselves in corruption. It's not something that benefits the country at large. But of course, with Habib Buwembo saying that the speaker is a thief, that has not been, of course, pronounced anywhere in the courts of law. But if it is pronounced at any time, that, of course, we shall have no say, but also to
Which
say,
court where she has not been taken?
But for us,
I've said the institution of the IGG, whose duty is to inspect all the businesses of government, implicated her as a thief, and she was seen indeed carrying the exhibits on her head.
Yeah,
so, what
speaker,
point does you want?
the speaker was not seen anywhere carrying iron sheets on the head. That has not been seen because no evidence has been
And the people like
yet.
you are trying to protect
But
the
are not protecting, but
you need also to attract some sanctions.
No, we are here to give the facts. We want things with evidence, and that's the PowerPoint channel. That's the MGD TV. Otherwise, I'm Jacob Junior Munghesi, and thanks for watching the show. I've been with Habib Buwembo. Meet next time, but appreciation to those who have kept following the show. Please don't forget to always comment and share. Till next time, we meet.